Hi, I'm Andre, I'm a black nerd, and it's time for another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episode recap. Turtle Power. It's the 100th episode! Congratulations, Ninja Turtles, on 100 episodes of this series that's so awesome. All the people involved that make this show what it is. You do such great work, so congratulations. From me to you, here's one happy and hearty Booyakasha! Cowabunga! Gonna party and pizza and party and pizza. Before I get into this week's episode, I want to make a couple of notes about last week's episode, the whole the Rat King was a hallucination thing. Some of you reminded me that that is actually a reference to a Mirage Comics Ninja Turtle storyline. Thank you so much for that information, and it again shows how much this series takes elements from the comics and makes it work in their universe, and that's awesome. Also forgot to mention the opening sequence. It's changed. We get the nice montage of heroes and villains now in the middle of the theme song, and at the end of the theme song, we see the turtles fighting like they normally do, but instead of their normal colors, they're all wearing black. This is probably the reference to the Dark Ninjas. It's just basically the turtles with a little bit of extra gear on and black masks. So I guess we are to assume that that's coming in the future, so this is a little tease for it right now in the theme song. But now on to this week's episode, The Power Inside Her, or as I like to call it, the Dark April Saga. I've been joking about this for a long time, ever since April got these psychic powers enhanced by the Aeon crystal, but now we get the episode where April's crystal really takes over and we get April O'Neil, the last stand. So Donatello is studying April once again. He really wants to figure out what's going on with her psychic powers because of that Aeon crystal. So he decides to just bump up her power just a little bit through his technology so that he can somehow replicate the powers that she has so he can analyze it. This of course goes haywire, and April got her hair all up in the air. Her eyes are completely whited out. She is fully controlled by this crystal. The turtles are luckily able to separate her from the crystal, and they nail the crystal down, but you can see the crystal is still trying to make its way back to April. He's like struggling. He's like, let me go! While the turtles are dealing with April, Casey Jones notices that Tiger Claw, Razar, and Fishface are trying to capture some more mutagen from an old Krang lab to get it over to Super Shredder to keep him Super Shredder. Casey tries to get the turtles to help him out, but they take too long, so Casey decides to take matters into his own hands, and this leads into what I have to say was a very cool Casey Jones fighting sequence. It's Casey Jones jumping on their truck, the truck is moving around, Razar is putting his claws through the ceiling, but Casey Jones is able to hold on, use his hockey stick to grab at the back of the van opens up, and then Foot Ninjas and all the other creatures come out to fight him, but he's able to keep fighting them off. There's even this part where Tiger Claw jumps towards Casey, and Casey pulls out one of his hockey pucks, shoots it at Tiger Claw, and it's this slow motion sequence of the hockey puck coming close to Tiger Claw. Tiger Claw slices the hockey puck in half, but then it still explodes behind them. It was just a really awesome sequence, and we haven't seen a lot of Casey Jones lately, so it was nice to have him have that one specific sequence of his own. Leo, Raph, and Mikey team up with Casey Jones, while Donatello and Splinter stay behind with April to try to help her through meditation to get her disconnected from that crystal. And when Splinter does a mind meditation with April, he sees that it's not just the crystal, there's actually an evil being behind it, and that's what's controlling April. But of course, it isn't long before the crystal is let free. April goes into full crazy mode. She uses her mental powers to lift Splinter in the air and actually twist his body so he's like cramping up. Come on, April, the dude just had his foot broken in last week's episode. Can you give Splinter a break? Can Splinter get a break? She gonna break that arm, that's what she's gonna do. Donatello tries to stop her, but then she force chokes Donatello. He's all like, April just rises up from the ground, flies through the sewers, flies up into the sky. She creates her own dark cloud in the sky. Apparently she's been watching a lot of third acts of movies this year. And now she fully realizes that the crystal is holding an Aeon spirit who is telling her that she now can give her all the power that she needs. And that combined, April and this Aeon can work together to cleanse the city, get rid of all the pollution, get rid of all the hate, get rid of all the evil. But of course that means destroying almost everyone in it. This is why technology can't take over people. April does use her power for good. She helps to save Casey when he's cornered by Tiger Claw, Fishface, and Razar, and it's like intense. She throws things to Razar. She breaks off a piece of Fishface's metal, one of his metal legs, force chokes Tiger Claw and throws him back. Casey likes that April saved her, but at the same time, he's a little scared. The turtles come in and are like, we gotta stop you. April fights him off, floats away to the top of the Channel 6 building. The turtles try to stop her, and then she looks them directly into the eyes and goes full Ghostbusters on them.
There is no April, only Zom Naran.
You know, Zool was just over in the corner like, oh man, I got here too late. It's seriously Ghostbusters at this point. We got April being controlled by a power like Zool. We got dark clouds in the sky shooting lightning just like in the third act of Ghostbusters. We then even have Donatello showing up and he's using a device to try to track April down, which you could call a PKE meter. Can we just get that Ninja Turtles Ghostbusters crossover? Seriously, Nickelodeon, get Sony on the phone, find the old animators of the real Ghostbusters, rehire them, and let's have a Ninja Turtles Ghostbusters crossover. You clearly want it. You've made so many Ghostbusters references in this show. You want it to happen. Let's make it happen. If it's something strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. See, it fits. April uses her psychic powers to knock all the turtles and Casey off of the top of the building. Luckily, they have their grappling hook things to save them. But while they're all down on the ground, Donatello is climbing up, and Donatello's like, no, I can reach through her. I know that I can be the one to calm her down. Donnie goes up to April and is like, April, listen to me. This is not you. You're being controlled. You know us. You love us. Come back to us. And she's like, nah, I'm zoning around. I got all this power. I'm going up in the air, and I'm taking Donnie with me. Donnie's like, please, April. He's yelling at her. She's like, April, please. And she uses her hand, and Donnie starts shaking, and you see his skull, his skeleton underneath him, and then all of a sudden, boom! Donatello is disintegrated into little mini molecule crystals and disappears. She freaking disintegrates Donatello! And then they go to commercial break. I ain't got time for no For Real Friends commercials, Nickelodeon. Donatello just got disintegrated. Donatello just got destroyed in front of my eyes, and now you trying to sell me Lunchables. And then we get the full backstory of who Zonaron is. She's one of the original Aeons, and she put her spirit inside of this crystal so that she could transfer herself to other bodies throughout generations. And now April, of course, is the newest one to have her spirit. And once Zonaron realized that April had this psychic power, she felt she was the perfect specimen to connect to, so that way they can use their ultimate power to take over the universe. You know, typical thing you get when you get jewelry. I got this evil crystal that I wear around my neck, and now it has an evil being inside of it that makes me want to take over the universe and use my hardcore psychic powers to disintegrate my friends. Every kiss begins with K. The turtles and the rest of the turtles, I should say, and Casey Jones corner April. She's already got Raphael up in the corner like this, like, let me go. They start bringing up memories. Casey Jones is like, remember when we fought the Mutagen Man? Remember when we went to space? Remember all the pizza parties that we had? Michelangelo tells her, and then they bring it hard. They're like, remember Donatello? And then you get this whole flashback sequences of all the times that April was with Donatello, showing how Donatello loved her so much, hugging each other or hanging out with each other and smiling to each other. That was it, man. That was that last straw. April was like, no! She takes the crystal off, breaks the crystal. She's free from its evil power, but that means that Zonaron, the Aeon, is now loose. She flies towards April O'Neil. April pulls a sword out and is like, come on over here, Zonaron. I got something for you. Nice slow-mo shot of them face to face. Then, of course, they do that classic cartoon slash, but nothing on screen. Like, you see like the sword slash, but nothing's there. And then you come back and you see Zonaron got hit, and then boom, explodes. So April is now free of this evil crystal. The turtles are glad to have her back, but then they realize, oh, that's right, we don't have Donatello anymore. He's dead. But don't worry, everything's okay. April did not kill Donatello. She actually just separated all of his molecules up into a million billion pieces. It's like that part of Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory when Mike TV goes to the TV. That's pretty much what she did to Donatello. Am I coming in clear, mother? Am I coming in clear? No, wait, stop, don't. So April uses her psychic powers to bring all those molecules together, and we got Donatello back again. Although he came back with his bandana on, which kind of shocked me a little bit because they showed this one scene when he got disintegrated where the bandana floated down to the ground and one of the turtles caught it. So how he got it back, I don't know. Sounds like that might have been an animator making a mistake. Somebody got fired. I'm just playing. Or not. I don't know how Nickelodeon, they could be evil like that. They could have Aeon crystals around their neck, and it's like, you drew a bandana on Donatello when you weren't supposed to? You're fired! Bring me more SpongeBobs! So April is back to normal, and she feels bad about everything that she's done with the Aeon crystal, but one good thing that came out of this is now she is able to really control her psychic power. She even shows in the last shot being able to grab her sword and use her psychic powers to do so without having the evil behind her, and that's great. I'm sure that's going to come into play very well in future episodes. Very, very intense episode. I knew at some point we're gonna have to deal with this. We've seen it lead up to this episode, and it's really nice to see how the show does that from time to time, where they'll sprinkle little things throughout the course of the season, and then all of a sudden, oh, you know something was gonna happen? Here it is! And this was the episode that did that, so good job with it. And really good sequences with Casey Jones, with April, all of it. Really enjoyed it. They said the show was gonna be on break for 2 weeks, and then they're doing this thing called Mutation Madness. They said they were gonna do a back-to-back-to-back marathon of the newest episodes of Turtles. Maybe we'll get some new episodes after that, but it sounds like a recap marathon to me. We'll see. That gives me time for another television show to finally catch up on and talk about. I hear it had a pretty interesting finale that I need to check out, and I'll be very intrigued to see what happened with that show. But that's for another time. Thumbs up this video, and if you are new here, please tickle that subscribe button and also hit that bell so you can get notified about my future videos as well. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Audi 5000. Chain chomp yomp.